I spent a year reading books about money, and these are 20 of the things I learned. One, you can save no matter how much you earn, no matter how small your money is, you can save. Two, the secrets are in the books. The secrets are in the books. The money secrets are in the books. The book I always recommend for starters is The Richest Man in Babylon. Read that book and thank me later. Three, you cannot be rich from saving. No matter how hard you try, you can never be rich from saving because you just save and then the money does not grow. If you want to be wealthy, after saving your emergency fund, invest the rest of your money. Four, money is energy. Money is energy. The more you see yourself deserving of money, the more money comes to you. The more you love it and treat it with kindness and respect, the more it comes to you. Five, money planning is the key, and this is you setting a budget, being intentional about your money. Six, your thinking attracts or repels money. Basically, what I talked about, like money being like energy. How you think attracts money or it takes money away from you. So if you're thinking that your background is something that does not deserve money, makes you not deserving of money, you will not get money. Next, get an emergency fund before investing. This is absolutely crucial. If you want to invest, you must get an emergency fund. Next, be careful with credit cards. Credit cards are putting a lot of people into debt because people who do not have the money to afford whatever it is that they are doing are relying on credit cards, and credit cards come at a cost if you do not pay them, because then you keep getting lots of interest on the money that you're supposed to pay, and then it just ends up going haywire. Everyone's money story is different, and this is very true. We all have different relationships with money, we all have different understandings of money, we all have different histories with money. Everyone's story is different. What is your money story? Is it a good one? Are you willing to improve on that? Is it a bad one? Are you letting it go? Learn to give. Kindness always. Learn to give. The fact that you want to make money does not mean you should hoard money. When you do that, you will not get a lot of money. Learn to give. And give not because you want to gain more money, just give because it is good to be kind. You need a mastermind group. This is one of the ideas in one of the books. It's either Rich Dad Poor Dad or Think and Grow Rich. I think it's in Think and Grow Rich. You need a mastermind group. It is good if you have a group of people that you can discuss money with, not just money, but anything at all. You can learn with, and you can update each other on what it is that you're learning and all of that. If you do not have a mastermind group right now, watching videos like these, forming your own relationships with different people who share content on money can be a starting point. When you pay to learn, you go faster. When you pay to learn, you go faster. If you do not want to spend money or invest in yourself, there is no way out. Sometimes spending so much time trying to learn something for free would take away from what you could have spent doing something more productive. When you pay to learn, you learn faster, you learn from people who have done it, and from people who can teach you as well, and then you go faster. When you are in flashy things all the time, when you're in all of those designer, when you're in all of the flashy cars, people would admire it, but a lot of the time they're admiring the product and not necessarily you. This is very interesting. It's something I read in the psychology of money, and it's very interesting how it works, because yes, it does make sense. Sometimes people would admire you for it, but a lot of times they're looking at that car and going, wow, that's a beautiful car. They don't really care who is in the car, they're admiring the car. Sometimes they see, they'll be like, oh, that's a really nice dress, and then they look more at the dress than they actually do at you. And I think it depends on how you process this, but this is also very interesting to know. Get more assets. Assets are things that have value. Assets are things that bring you a lot more value and a lot more profit, or something that you can earn from and get more assets. So assets can be and the S&P 500, investing in the stock market. It can be you investing in building a house that eventually you would either use to get, you rent out to make more money. Depending on what it is, get more assets. Naturally, the next one is to avoid liabilities. Liabilities are things that you keep pumping your money into that do not add to you, or do not bring any money back, and are just there being burdens, financial burdens, so to speak. You can pay off that debt. It might be hard, it might be long, but you can still pay off the debt. The reason why sometimes people are find it difficult to work on their finances is because they feel like it is not doable, because they have a lot of debts. You can pay off that debt. You need to speak to someone who can help you. I am not a financial advisor. I am sharing what I know and what I have learned, but you can find a financial advisor who would help you, or you can do your own research and find a strategy that would work for you. There are so many different methods, like the avalanche method, or so many different methods that people have on how you can do these things. But I do recommend that you believe you can pay off the debt, because you can. Put one foot in front of the other when it comes to finances. While you learn, and you have to remember that it's a journey, it is not a sprint. You learn in bit by bit. I am still learning, I'm still on the journey of learning, and it is in the learning that I am excited about all of the things that I'm learning, and also willing to share with you. So just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Know your priorities. You have to know your priorities. If you read a book like Rich Dad Poor Dad, he talks about how his rich dad knew his priorities. His rich dad had a strategy. His poor dad was always he wasn't paying himself first. He was not doing things that were going to help him build assets, which takes me to the next one, which is pay yourself first. When you paid, you have to take out what you're going to save and invest. It took me a long time to understand what this actually means, and that means that when you pay, you have to take out money for yourself. And paying yourself first doesn't mean money you're taking to splurge. You're taking an amount of money that you can use to save and invest. Next is that once you have the right apps, you can make things better. So, for example, if you have apps that would help you with your saving and your investments, those would really, really help you. Next is to have an emergency fund before you save. If you do not have before you invest, if you do not have an emergency fund, do not start investing immediately. I mean, this is my understanding. This is what I would recommend. If you do not have an emergency fund, do not invest, because investments come with risks. Investments are difficult to get easy access to. So if you put your money in an investment, you would not be able to get easy access to it when you need it in an emergency. So you need to build an emergency fund, which typically is 3 to 6 months of your income. And then once you do that, you can save, you can invest. And finally, join my self-improvement challenge. I think the goal of this video is to help you grow, and then the goal of the self-improvement challenge is also to help you grow. It's a 7-day challenge with different challenges for you to do. It's a workbook that would help you take up certain challenges till the end. You don't need to do it only for 7 days. You can do it for as long as you want, over and over. And I hope that you find it useful. And let me know which of these resonates with you. Are you doing any of these? Are you yet to start any of these? Let me know. And I'm gonna just end off by recommending my favorite money books. I always share these books. If I read a different one, I'll let you know. Not read a different one. If I add a different one to the list of my favorite books on money, I'll let you know. The first one is The Richest Man in Babylon. The second is The Psychology of Money, in no particular order. So Richest Man in Babylon, The Psychology of Money, and Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Black Girl Finance. I hope that this helps you. Lots of love.